Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Thank you for all the kind words about the recent episodes with Miles Kennedy, Sebastian Bach, and of course Michael Schenker, which I was really surprised he agreed to do the podcast, so that was a lot of fun. And today we have the New York hardcore legend, the most interesting man in the world himself, Mr. Vinnie Stigma, the godfather of New York hardcore, one of the best to ever do it. Love this dude, and this episode is so much fun, and I cannot thank our sponsors enough. Please support our awesome sponsors like Blast Beats Vinyl. Check out blastbeatsvinyl.com after the podcast today. They are an independent, family-owned, online extreme metal distro out of New Jersey. They import top European labels so you can dodge all those brutal $40 shipping fees. From big names to the deep underground, they got it all. Check out blastbeatsvinyl.com. The link will be in the show notes as well, and make sure you use the code JASTA10 at checkout. Tell them Jasta sent you. Use that code JASTA10 for 10% off your first over at blastbeatsvinyl.com. We got another killer sponsor today. I gotta give a big shout out to Upstate Records. They are coming off a great Extreme Music Awards show over there up near the capital city, and gotta check out this band Concrete and their release Mortualis. You can head on over to Upstate New York, that's upstateny.com after the podcast today with Vinnie Stigma. Use the promo code JASTA10 and get yourself a copy of Concrete's Mortualis record. Congrats to Concrete. They won 4 Extreme Music Awards this month, and the record is killer, so check it out over at upstaterecordsny.com. Of course, today's episode is brought to you by martyrstore.net, as always, and right now over at martyrstore.net, you can get your tickets and your meet and greet to the first Thrash Thursday event with yours truly. That's right, Jasta and friends will be at the Cellar in Hamden, Connecticut. Bobby Blitz is my special guest, so if you love Overkill, if you love Thrash, come on out to Thrash Thursdays and get your tickets and meet and greet over at martyrstore.net. And we have Milwaukee Metal Fest coming up May 15th through the 18th. It's brought to you by IndieMerchStore.com. We love Indie Merch Store. They love you. And right now, you got to get some new gear over at IndieMerchStore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10. They will have a stage there with a ton of killer bands. And the lineup is insane right now. We got Dillinger, we got Black Label, we got Down, we got Devin Townsend. We got a new edition that's going to blow your mind. If you want to hear about it, first you can sign up to my Patreon. But right now, I'm talking about IndieMerchStore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10 and you will save 10% off. Last but certainly not least, big shout out to Unbeaten Records. They are killing it right now with recent releases from bands like Edict, Cell, and Pure Bliss. And right now you can save 15% at unbeaten.merchnow.com when you use the code unbeaten15. The code will be in the show notes if you can't remember that, but you got to remember that. It's pretty easy. Unbeaten15 is the code that saves you 15% off over at unbeaten.merchnow.com. Check out Cell, check out Edict from Rhode Island, check out Pure Bliss, holding it down over there in Syracuse. They got their record, Torture Realm. Unbeaten.merchnow.com. Want to sponsor the show? Hit us up, jastashow@gmail. Want to donate to the show? Any amount gets you a shout out. PayPal.me/Jasta. Or you want to go above and beyond, sign up to the Patreon. You'll hear the January music show any day now. Plus you'll get the weekly metal roundup. And you'll get stories behind the songs, tour diary episodes, and much, much more. Patreon.com/Jasta. All right, we got the one and only godfather of New York hardcore, Mr. Vinnie Stigma. Hit the music.
My friend, the lead singer of Hatebreed, the infamous and notorious Jamey Jasta is in the building. That's what's up.
Jamey Jasta from the metal band Hatebreed. That guy's famous.
Coffee, death metal, and push-ups.
That's Jamey Jasta. Remember Jamey Jasta? You know him. He's a podcaster, but he's a metal man.
I would say delete that.
That shit is hard.
Your host, Jamey Jasta,
All right, we are here. Long overdue return of the New York hardcore legend, the godfather of New York hardcore, the most interesting man in the world. The book is out, Mr. Vinnie Stigma. Big round of applause.
Hey, Jamie, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
You got it. Long time no see, man. We got to hang more often, you know.
I know, especially now that I'm finally off the road for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've been coming into the city now a couple times, not a lot, like just twice over the last 2 months, but I've been coming into the city, and every time I'm like, I got to hit up Stigma. And
I'm right here, a few blocks away.
And it's perfect timing because the book is out.
Right.
You just announced the U.S. tour, which everybody go get your tickets. I think tickets went on sale today or recently. By the time you see this, tickets will be on sale. It's we're going to show the graphic here right now. It's Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law, Violent Way. It starts in Pittsburgh on March 13th, goes till April 6th. That's going to be a banger. So you did the same bill in Europe. It went so good that you're like, let's do it in the States.
So good. Could do no wrong. Shows were great. Unbelievable. I could do no wrong. It was great. I think everybody got along really good. You know how it is on tour. We've been on tour, you know? And because you're a road dog like me, you know? And I'm ready. I'm spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally ready.
You've been on a tear. You've been on such a tear. The trajectory. I see more Agnostic Front shirts now than I've ever seen. Like on this Hatebreed 30th anniversary tour, that tour with Sepultura, right into the European tour with Murphy's Law. Shout out to Gestapo. Shout out to, I don't know Violent Way yet. I'll have to check them out. It seems like it's just been on this positive incline for like years now with AF.
Yeah, and you know what? The package was good too, because you got the opening band, the young kids, oi, like, you know, type skinheads, and they got Murphy's Law with Jamey G, and, you know, that's a good time right there. And then you got Agnostic Front. So, like, you know, it just works so good together.
My favorite Murphy's Law song is Beer Bash.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Is it Beer Bath? I'm fucking it up.
I like What Will the Neighbors Say?
That's a good one,
because
too.
He wrote that when he was living in my house. When I used to go to Europe, I would leave Jimmy in my house, and he had the girl up there one time, and they wound up with a fight, and the cops came. So I called my mother from Europe back in the day before the cell phone shit, and I was like, "Hey, Ma, how you doing?" She says, "You don't know. The cops were here. Jimmy, he's crazy. That girl's crazy." Or whatever. Like, that's how that song came about.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
My dog Paulie's in it, and Larry's in that video. Todd Hugh's in it.
Oh, yeah. I remember the video.
Yeah.
Do you remember they toured with Beastie Boys?
Yeah.
That was that the biggest band a New York hardcore band had toured with at that point?
Yeah, no, that was a reflection point for Jimmy, you know? He should have capitalized on that moment, you know?
What was the biggest moment for AF, you think?
I think the biggest moment, going back to 84, when we played the Rock Hotel.
Yes.
You know, we were against the opposition, let's say. Everybody had their name big, and Agnostic Front name was about the size of my fingernail. I swear to God, I think it was done on spite. We took the cake that night.
And who was it with? Chris Williamson booked this?
It was a Chris Williamson show. It was with Doug from
Chromax?
No, the one before that.
Bad Brains?
No.
Wait, I can look it up. I think I have the poster. It's a famous poster.
Yeah.
And it's Rock Hotel.
Yeah.
Agnostic Front, 1984.
Right. June 14th, I think it was.
You know the
date? Because we got the puzzle.
No way, you did like a puzzle of the poster?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Metal promo. GBH, Leeway, Crumbsuckers, that one?
No, not that one.
Wow, you played a lot of...
I played a lot of shows.
City Gardens.
Yeah.
We'll have Dom look it up. But what was your favorite place to play back then?
That was one of my favorite places. My texts are still coming in because my birthday was yesterday.
Yes, happy 69th, right?
Yeah. I've had over like 300 texts. I'm still answering them, you know?
I bet.
I hate to say thank you with a little heart, you know, but I would like to go into it, but then they start talking back and I'll start talking to different people. I'll get confused.
I know. And then I feel terrible when it's numbers you don't know because I got 11.
Oh, forget. I give my number out to everybody.
I got 1,100 texts right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's who. I gotta take a day where I have my daughter just go through and find out whose number's what and save it.
Yeah. I've been doing that as I go along.
Was it DOA? I'm looking up DOA Iron Cross. Crowd. Here it is. Yeah. You're right. The AF name is so small on that. Kraut CH3. What happened to them?
Channel 3, I don't know. Code Blue, is that Code Blue? Was that the other band?
I don't know. So this was Kraut. Where were they from? Germany?
No. They were from Queens.
Kraut was from Queens?
Yeah.
Wow. So this was a changing of the guard. This is before my time. I mean, I got into AF on One Voice.
Oh, okay.
So, and I had Liberty and Justice, but I was so young then, and I was like a skater. We would skate. All the kids that would skate would listen to Liberty and Justice, and then One Voice was like the metal crossover event of the century. Yeah. Right, because Liberty and Justice people did call you metal, right?
Well, it was before the Cause for Alarm. That was my first jump. Then One Voice was another jump, you know? Turned into like the Madball style, you know, the slippery, slick, you know,
great
riffs.
Production.
Yeah.
Oh, hard lyrics. Undertow is like one of the hardest.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest lyrics ever.
I know. I hear you.
But you're right. Yeah. Because with Cause for Alarm, you got Eliminator, you got Toxic Shock. Well, that's the one with those songs. So that one is like very thrashy, very
it was
crossover.
Like the original crossover. Then the next one was where it went to metal crossover, not the other metal, like the old fashioned metal.
Right, because I listened to bands like Accused and bands like I had a couple.
You know, the DRIs, But I even had some Poison Idea. I always Bad Brains. Like I loved the Quickness, which was that was like their metal record. Yeah. But you guys, Biohazard, Sick of It All, what a year for those records, right? I think it was Urban Discipline, Just Look Around, One Voice. It was. I feel like it was all within a year or two. Striking distance, yeah.
And this is pre-Google and pre-streaming. Right. So if you had, for me, like I would thumb through the 7 inches or thumb through the LPs and go, okay, so if I hear Victim in Pain, I'm like, this sounds way different than Cause for Alarm or One Voice. If you like a band, you would go back into their catalog.
Well,
But then if you knew like an older guy, they would go, oh, this is, you know, when they went metal. But the new kids loved it, like me.
Well, you know what it is, Jamie? I wrote a record every 3 years for over 40 years. Wow. I did the math. Because I got like 15 recorded albums every 3 years, do the math, you know. That's not recounting my solo albums, which thank you for helping me out on one of those.
We got to buy it back and re-release it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Larry, Brooklyn Larry, can we buy the record? Let us buy the record back.
Yeah. He called me for my birthday. That's my birthday wish.
Yes, because we should re-release it, add bonus tracks.
Yeah, I'm in. Get Phil Gavano in on it.
We worked so hard on that record.
And I love it because it was Hell's Kitchen, West Side, December 3rd, 1955. The world will never be the same. The city's got a new claim to fame. How the fuck you write a song?
That's right, baby. Oh my God, I got chills right there. Such good memories. Recording with Billy Bio for some songs.
Forget it, huh?
Oh my God. I just found the Zombie Vandals demo too.
Oh, yeah?
And I remember we hit them up. We were like, hey, can we use a couple of demo ideas?
They're all mine anyway. Those are all my riffs.
Yeah. No, the way that record evolved into something so great, and the fact that people are finding it now, and then they see my name on it and they go, yo, you sang like backups.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, we worked fucking hard to put that stigma.
We had a lot of muscle on that record. You know, we had a lot of great guys. Phil, this one, Lou, or the band itself.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, we're playing February 1st for Mike Gallo's 50th birthday party.
Great. Where's that?
I forgot. It's around here.
We'll put it in the show notes, but we'll plug that for sure because we'll get a bunch of people to go to that.
And I'm trying to get these guys, listen, because, one guy they're all in different bands. bands. I'm giving it the ultimatum. Either you're in or you're out. I want to get fresh guys that have no bands. They're not in the band. Give them an act.
Right. Give them are available.
Yeah.
Go to Europe, go to Japan.
Yeah, whatever. I don't have to worry about a guy's got a art show, who's in a band in Europe. I don't need that. I need my band, Stigma.
Yeah, some young kids, some like 28-year-old.
Yeah, get good-looking kids. I don't need these fat slobs.
Shout out to Mikey Gallo who got this all together for us today, and I got to get something from him for the studio, for my studio up in Connecticut. I got to get like a nice art piece.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a Stigma. Maybe I'll get a New York Blood Stigma piece to commemorate because you're coming up on an anniversary.
Sure, we got to do something, Jamie.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And go get the record or go stream the record. If we are able to get Brooklyn Larry to sell us the masters back so we can re-release it, that would be amazing. But I like what you're saying about the every 3 years, because I've tried to do the same. Not always with Hatebreed, but definitely with Kingdom of Sorrow and which, by the way, I found a great picture of you and Kirk. Do you remember the song when we were doing the Kingdom of Sorrow record? You're like, Jamie and Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk. One is old, the other's a jerk. Yeah, you got that? Oh my God, studio antics.
We have so many good outtakes of both of you where we should put that out as like a 7-inch or something. Both of you in the studio is money. The outtakes are so funny and authentic. And
wow, I obviously I haven't heard them, but wow, I could imagine. When you hear them back, sometimes you say, wow, these guys are having a great time in the studio.
We really did. I mean, it's a blessing. Believe me, I'm grateful every day. Like when I think about doing those records and doing the tours with you guys. I mean, the other day I found the flyer of when you guys got back together after Roger got out of prison and we did the Wetlands shows with you, with AF. Finberg got us on the show.
Wow.
And I think Fury of 5 was on there.
Yeah, probably. That sounds...
And I was like, that's when it changed for us. Like AF, without AF, I don't know where we would be, because that was like the one that, they say if you can make it in New York.
Right.
Like for a band from Connecticut to go to New York and get a good reaction.
Sure.
Was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Because my previous band, we came and played like at the Space at Chase. Remember that?
Space at Chase.
Let's look up that club. Where was that, Dom? That was in the city here. And there was like one person. Space, I think it was called the Space. Yeah, Space at Chase, NYC. It was, here, I'll tell you the address in 1 second. There's a lot of bands that played there. The Radix, False Prophets.
Yeah, that's a Lower East Side type.
I was like a little kid. I think I was 14. We took the train in, and then the guy was saying, "Why?" I was like a Rollins wannabe. I want to do the show barefoot. He's like, "Are you fucking crazy?"
Get out of here,
He's like, "G.G. Allen played here the other night.
Yeah,
you don't want to
no
go.
way.
You don't want to fucking play here barefoot." But what was the show like that where you thought when you played, this is going to be my career? Like, I can do this. Like, was it the Rock Hotel show?
It was the Rock Hotel show. That changed the whole dynamics of, we were the Kings of New York.
Yeah.
We were the band. The band that means something. The band, the people's band, We belong to them. We speak for them, So, and you know what? It was a long, hard fight, but, we managed to win that fight.
For sure. I mean, 89 to 9 or 84 to 92, you're playing all over, like all 5 boroughs. You're playing in Brooklyn at Lemoore. You're playing in Manhattan at all the various venues. You're going over to Jersey to City Gardens. What was...
we were also in Europe by then, of course. We've been in Europe,
Yeah, you guys were probably one of the first.
Yeah, we were there since the 90s. 90.
Right after the wall.
89, 90, we were there that winter.
When the wall came down?
When the wall came down, yeah.
And were you getting like pieces of the wall?
Oh, I got 100 pieces of the wall. Are you kidding me? I had a brick. I couldn't even carry it home. I was like, throw it away. Who cares? I'll pick up a rock somewhere else. I'll tell somebody it's from the Berlin Wall. You want to buy it?
And steins. You have the craziest stein.
Yeah, I do.
What's the most expensive rare stein you own, you think?
I got a couple of old ones, about like a 80, 90-year-old steins,
Wow.
A couple of those. I just, now I got, it's bordering on hoarding. So I got to stop myself,
Yeah.
But I just can't help it,
It's like my black t-shirt collection.
Yeah.
Just when I think I got too many, I'm like, more black t-shirts.
Yeah.
But the first tour, do you remember who that was with in Europe?
What's that?
The first AF.
AF by ourselves.
No opener.
No opener. That was it. You saw one band and go home.
See, that I feel like there's been more bands than we know that were created because there were no openers, right? At the time,
Right.
like Madball, H2O,
Right.
bands were created because it was like, hey, ex-cops, remember them? They would open for Guar, and it was like they were Guar.
Yeah.
They were
It's
in
just like Freddie was Madball, and I was Vinnie Vata. I dressed different. Roger, it was Madball, Agnostic Front, but it was Freddie, this little kid, and my roaring guitar, and this little kid with a high-pitched voice, which cuts through the guitars. And that is an awesome thing, having a little kid sing. I used to put him on my fucking shoulders, play my mosh around with my guitar. It was the hardest thing ever. And I was having fun. I'm still having fun.
I love it.
I love it, Jamey. You don't understand. And I want everybody to know out there that I want to thank Jamey very much for helping the Agnostic Front out throughout the years and everything. And I asked him one day, hey, Jamey, what? You're so good to me and Agnostic Front. Why is that? He said, Vinnie, I never forget, I was how old, 14 or something, 16? You bought me a birthday cake. And I'm like, okay. And speaking of, I was talking about this recently because yesterday was my birthday with Lou DiBella, his birthday too.
Yep, shout out to Lou. I saw him Friday night.
And, it comes up,
And I was always told, especially playing those early shows, like if you ever get blessed enough to be able to put down the ladder for those who put it down for you.
Right.
It's your duty to do that.
True.
And we just got lucky with the help of
right, and hard work, and the same thing I do with the Violent Way kids.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We put them in front of an audience. You know what I mean? Get them on a bus. You know what I mean? So they don't.
Exactly.
Hey, believe me, I suffered. You know that. We went with the horse and wagon, back then. I said, beat that fucking horse. Come on, I'll make glue out of you, you motherfucker.
I had that post of you doing the shout out where you're like, when I listen to music, it's hardcore.
Yeah.
That went viral. Like it's still, I see that being reposted still to this day.
Oh,
so when I saw the book coming out and the stigma isms and just the resurgence of the band post the documentary, right? Because the documentary, and shout out to Ian McFarlane, he did such an amazing job with the documentary. That really, I think, opened you guys up to a new audience. And the band was always legit, but it legitimized you with people who might have written you off as like tough guys or angry, loud music. When they see what a success story it is, I mean, it really is the American dream. Agnostic Front is the American dream. What was the pitch? Do you remember getting told we're going to do this film? Did he bring you an outline?
Yeah, they want to do a film. I'm like, okay, whatever. Same thing with my book. How many years people, Vinnie, you got to write a book. Vinnie, you got to write a book. I said, yeah. But I said, you know what? I didn't even want to write a book. But I said, you know what? If I'm going to do it with anybody, I'm going to do it with my friend Howie. And I tell you the truth, I'm glad I did it. Because let me tell you something, I'm on my third depressing.
Yeah.
We're doing really good. We're number one in a lot of the book sales.
Yeah, Amazon bestseller here, it says.
Yeah, I'm lucky, that. And you know what? It's a unique story. And the book is more of a collectible thing because in the book, there's a cookbook. You read the book. Then there's a comic book. You read the book. There's a sports page. You know what I mean? There's puzzles.
Really?
Yeah. There's your picture in there. So anybody want to see this guy without a beard, cleaned up a little bit. He was so cute. I don't know what happened. But, we got a lot of stuff like that. The coffee table book.
Yeah.
With the pictures. And,
how do you choose the stories? Does Howie say, that's a good one, it's got to go in?
Yeah, we started from the beginning. We started from when I was Little Italy, or like the old New York. And then I grew up. There's a children's story in there, you can read a children's story to your little
Really?
kid. Yeah. I wanted to make it something different.
Yeah.
Even that, like you're a parent, you got a 5-year-old kid you could read the story to. You know, it's about a kid with a big nose that play guitar. Guess who that's about? It's about me. You know, but and a lot of it has truth in it. That I played the guitar in my school, and I wanted everybody. I always wanted to be like a guitar player, you know.
Yeah.
And I pursued my dreams. You know, I looked up to guys like Jimi Hendrix and guys like that. You know.
Do you remember the evolution of distortion? Because I talked to Dee Snider, and he was telling me about. He was the one who told Don Fury to do the recording thing. And I go, D, if you didn't tell Don to start that studio, we might not have New York hardcore the way that we have it.
Right.
Like, so D is kind of like honorary OG. He's OG PMA, but he's kind of honorary OG hardcore. And you know, he loves hardcore. Like,
he's a Jersey guy.
He goes, oh, I love Death Before Dishonor.
Oh, wow.
And he goes hard.
Yeah, wow.
But do you remember going there and like testing amps and pedals? Like, do you remember the evolution of your sound and your distortion?
Well, I would, before Agnostic Front, I used to rehearse here with my old band, the Eliminators, the punk band I was in. And at the time I was discovering like this is even before the Rat pedal came out.
Really?
Was the MR3 is a little orange, like brownish pedal, and it had a great sound in there because everything was like 8-track or 4-track. You know, everything bleeds into everything. Well, now everything's like 52 track, 100. You know, like a lot of tracks. You know, and. You know, it had that old school sound.
And what were you using? Solid state heads or
no solid state?
Never, right?
Yeah,
like
there was no solid state then. Just a board, I guess. And even the boards, I think, had tubes back in the day.
What was your amp then for Victim in Pain?
I used a Ampeg V4.
Wow.
Yeah, that fucking crazy heavy head. You put it down and go.
So the evolution, though, of your sound, right? And Don Fury recording it and doing all those records. I mean, that's history right there. People heard Victim in Pain and goes, what is this? I mean, of course they had heard.
Yeah, they heard hardcore, but yeah, we took it over the edge with the Agnostic Front. Because that was like, wow, this is real hardcore. Like I heard hardcore, but this is like, wow, from the streets of New York, you know? And we recorded 40 years later, a year or two ago, whatever it was, a couple of years ago, we went, because Don Fury moved up to Albany, around that area, and we re-recorded some of the tracks of United Blood.
Really?
Yeah, we put out a little single or whatever.
Has he done a full retrospective type of podcast? Like, did he do Drew Stone's podcast or anything? I'd love to hear that.
I would think so. You know, I would imagine so. You know, I see why not. You know, he was part of, you know, because once we made that record there, everybody made the record there.
Yes.
Like the Youth of Today's, the Quicksands. I was just talking with Alan, and I met him in an airport, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody was like, wow, that sound, we want to go to that. So, you know, studios get hot. You know, that's the sound we want, you know.
Hey, everybody, it's Jasta letting you know today's episode is brought to you by Unbeaten Records. Their new release from the band Cell is out now. They are coming from Oklahoma City, bringing the pain on every track, and this is their debut release on Unbeaten Records. The lead track, Heaven's Here, Nothing Off the Record, The Unbearable Form, sets the tone for one of the hardest death slam metal records of the last year. Go and save yourself 15% off when you visit unbeaten.merchnow.com. Support Buddy and the crew because they support the Jasta Show. While you're there, check out releases from bands like Cell, bands like Pure Bliss, and more. Unbeaten.merchnow.com. Use the promo code unbeaten15 for 15% off. And while I have you, make sure you go get your tickets to Milwaukee Metal Fest. That's right. Milwaukee Metal Fest is back May 16th through the 18th. It is going to be fire. We're talking Black Label Society, one of their only Midwest shows. Down, back together with Kirk, Pepper, Jimmy, and the boys. Phil's going to bring it. He's been out with Pantera. This is one of the only Down shows of the year. Also, bands like Dillinger, Escape Plan, Guar, Arch Enemy, Devin Townsend's going to be there, Amigo the Devil, and so many more. Get your tickets at therave.com/metalfest before the price goes up, because we got more bands to announce, vendors, sponsors, food, special appearances, the pre-party, the Thrash Thursday pre-party with yours truly. And let's not forget, indiemerchstore.com will be there setting up vending. They will have a stage. Big shout out to indiemerchstore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10 and you will save on all their pre-orders, on all their restocks. They got merch, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got hats, they got jackets, t-shirts, they got it all. indiemerchstore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10. Now back to the show.
Did you ever get numbers like from the label or anything where they like, hey, you sold 100,000 7-inches or cassettes or?
I'm not a schmoozer.
Well, you know how there was always that rumor of like SOD sold 1 million records, it was a platinum record. I always felt like that AF Victim in Pain, that's got to be like a platinum fucking record by now.
I mean, they say it's the top 10 hardcore records.
It's got to be like, I think because it was pre-SoundScan, so they were able to hide the sales. I'm not accusing of anybody of doing anything shady, but all the different pressings, all the different bootlegs. I bet you, like, you should get an honorary platinum plaque.
So anyway, we got invited, speaking of all that bullshit, we got invited to the house of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we were in there and I was like, okay, I go in. All right, we got hosted, blah, blah, blah. We went through. So we went down. When you first go, when you look down, there's that CBGB's little thing. And underneath the canister, there's a real photo of CBGB's and has Agnostic Front on it. I was like, yay, we finally made it to the... We played Crucified in the room that anybody could get up and play.
Really?
Yeah, we got up and played.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I played the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They were always cool.
They were very nice. It was very cool.
I know they get a lot of shit because of certain bands not being in.
Yeah, it's not even certain bands. It's like they got the lady. What do you say? Dionne Warwick.
Right.
They got Dionne Warwick. She lived in a gated community. She says, because she lived a rock and roll lifestyle. You kidding me? Get out of here. That's why I like Dolly Parton, because she says, I don't belong in here. And she's right. So she made this bullshit record with Paul McCartney and every other famous musician. And to me, the record sucks. And I'm a Dolly Parton fan, because I respect it because she says, I don't belong in there. And she's right.
Is this the record she did a song with Rob Halford?
I don't know. But I know Paul McCartney's on one and, whatever. She just made it because to make a rock record, they put her, it's like, come on, you're scraping the barrel over here,
Yeah.
She belongs to the Country Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Or, of course, or the music somewhat.
I heard a good conspiracy about Jolene, that maybe the song was like her in love with Jolene. Maybe she wanted to be with Jolene, but she couldn't say it like that or something. And I was like, wow, I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole.
I don't know. I
might have to edit this out.
Great song.
Great song. But back to the Rock Hall, when I was there, they had a local section. Mushroom Head was in there, I think Integrity or something.
Oh, yeah, they got
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we're breaking. We'll get in there.
Is there a New York Music Hall of Fame?
I didn't see anything like that there.
I think they might have had it. I know that Kevin Lyman has the Punk Rock Hall of Fame in Vegas.
Right. Oh, I'm all over that.
You got to do tours there.
Oh, yeah.
I would book a Vinnie Stigma guided tour.
Yeah.
He's like, well, all right, we're over here now.
Yeah. Let me get a cup of coffee.
But you got to be in there, right? Did you donate anything?
We donated stuff. I forget what. It's been a minute. And they got me with my underwears hanging, that picture. Yeah. I did a remake of that picture 40 years later, like 40-something years later.
Come on.
Yeah, I did it in Puerto Rico because I bought underwear and I got this little stamp and I stamped Agnostic Front, like all over. And I did the same pose, The
tighty whities.
No, these were boxers now. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the tighty whitey won't hold a print.
Right. Did you keep every guitar and every setup from every record? Like, do you remember?
Jamey, the gold, the women that went through my hands, the gold, you know?
Because I wish I archived everything better.
Yeah. I'm an easy touch, man. You know, yo, Vinny, let me borrow this record. Yeah, right, go ahead. Never see it again. So my friend, speaking of the Beastie Boys before, he's like, oh, let me get that Beastie Boys record. Oh, please, let me have it. Okay. All right, give it to him. A couple of years ago, this is going back. A couple of years ago, it's like, hey, you still got that? He said, no, I sold it. You sold it, you cocksucker. Where's my cut? What do you mean you sold it? I gave it to you.
Right.
At least let me know.
Especially in New York, right? There's not a lot of space. Like Drew Stone was telling me, he gives away all his stuff. I need to do that because I got so much crap laying around.
Yeah, give it away. You know, when I go to Japan, I give my stuff away. I'm not one of the person I sell my T-shirt. I don't go for that. You know what I mean? You know, people selling broken drumsticks and like, get the fuck out.
See, I sell it all. I could just, if I do, especially like if, like I did this festival, which
everybody's doing it. I don't like, me personally.
I have to because I did this fucking festival, which I want you guys to play, Milwaukee Metal Fest. I bought the festival. You played it back in the day.
Okay.
When Jack Koshik
was I remember that.
And but I lost my ass. I was like, am I going to have to sell my car? So then I started selling all this shit and I realized, damn, this shit's worth a lot of money. Because the people would buy a shirt for $20 and then they resell it for $300. I was like, what did I do?
Yeah, I know. I hear you. My friend, the guy, he sold his sneakers. Some guy, a drummer in another band, like I'm not going to mention the name, whatever. He says, I cleaned them up. I saw it. Really? Who the fuck would want to buy that?
Oh yeah, the stage sneakers are huge. People want that. They want that. I mean, you must get asked for guitar picks.
Oh yeah,
all the time. Do you have like your own sets that you sell at the merch and stuff? You gotta. I need a Vinnie Stigma guitar pick set. You don't sell a set of guitar picks at the merch.
No,
that's how punk rock hardcore you are.
You know, give it away. A piece of plastic. Jesus Christ.
You know who really blew it? And shout out to Tommy Victor. He doesn't have those tapes, those board tapes. Could you imagine when he was doing sound?
Sure.
All those legendary board tapes. Where are they, Tommy? What if he has them and he's just not telling us?
He's got them. I know him. He's like an old lady. He's hiding them.
Could you imagine? Because when I started interning at Bay Ridge, I would go into the basement. I would take the train. Sometimes I would drive my grandfather's Dodge Region or I don't know what brand it is. Can you look at that up, Dom? The Region or one of those was Celebrity. He had one of those boxy little cars. I would drive that into Brooklyn to Bay Ridge. Go into Ken Creedy's basement. Shout out to Ken Creedy. Shout out to Finberg. Finberg's canceled now, I guess.
Yeah, he's canceled, right? He looks like a degenerate. He does. He's a skivatz. I saw Billy Milano choke him in an airport once. He had him off his feet like in the air. Billy was choking him. He was like, ah!
No way.
And right in the middle of it, people were like stopping and looking, and he's actually choking
Oh my God.
The guy was turning blue.
Shout out to Billy Milano.
Yeah.
Well, I would go into Ken Creedy's basement and I would see like, he'd have Life of Agony, Live at L'Amour, Biohazard, box of Peter Steele Playboys. Remember when boxes of them, White Lion gold records and stuff.
Yeah.
That shit would be worth millions
I
now.
know.
So someone's got to have those board tapes. Someone's got to have all that stuff stored somewhere.
Yeah, but they should do something with it to preserve the memory, one, and before it deletes. You know?
Yeah. So where you don't have a storage room in the city?
I got a closet.
Give it away.
Yeah, give it away.
What will you leave? Like, do you leave the Steins in your will? Like, how do you do it?
You know what? I don't know.
You got to leave them to the scene.
Yeah, I got to do something. I don't know why. I'm not thinking about being dead yet. So,
like your number one fans.
Yeah.
Because I know them. Like I know the fans. Like now, like I can name you number one fans all over the world from different countries and stuff. That would be amazing. Like if one day, I just got a Stein in the mail from you.
Yeah.
After the fact, because Lemmy gave away his ashes. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
Lemmy put. Yeah. I could be speaking out of turn, Dom. I don't know if you want to look this up. Lemmy's ashes. Some people were given like a piece of him in a vial or in a maybe in a a pendant.
Yeah, right, sure.
That's hard. That's metal.
Yeah.
But that would be so cool if you, but then you got to pay an attorney like, Harry, in my will, I'm going to give all these.
Nah, I don't want to get burned. I'm going in the coffin. Yeah, I want.
Oh, right. You don't want to get cremated?
Nah, I got the plot already.
Put me in the freezer and then wake me up in like 100 years, like fucking Walt Disney. What do you got, Dom? Was it true with Lemmy's ashes? Like people got it as a gift?
Yeah, they were placed into bullets and given to his closest friends.
Wow.
Placed into bullets.
Oh my God.
Because I'm doing that now. I'm doing the will. I'm doing the whole estate. I'm getting it ready because I don't want to have to do it later on. God forbid something's happened. What if we have World War III? Or I don't know. What if I'm on a plane?
Yeah, I hear you. That's why I retired at 62. I figured an economy will collapse, a war, a pandemic, and who knows what. So you know what? Get in.
Yeah. That was smart. I mean, and you were really smart about taking care of your health. That's why you've had such longevity. Everybody should listen to you.
Well, you know what? Be honest with you, I really never ate junk food because there was no junk food when I was a kid. There was potato chips, potato sticks, salty pretzels. That's about it. Maybe cheese doodles came out then, But other than that, there's no like whatever.
But I never saw you drink until you were like 48, 50.
I know. I was never a drinker. But my name is Vinny and I'm an alcoholic, so I'm a drinker now.
But when you got sick, you caught it early, and more people should.
Yeah, I remember you used to laugh at me because I'd had my underwears all stained like a rainbow.
I wasn't laughing.
You weren't laughing. Oh, you would take pictures of me while I was sleeping.
Don't say that.
Oh God, I love you for that.
But you survived, and you're a testament to doing the right thing, going to the doctor early, not being afraid. Because as guys, especially Irish people, like me and my family, like we were every doctor we thought was trying to just push pills on us.
Well, look, I mean, I was leaking oil. You know what I mean? So something was up.
Yeah.
So it was obvious that I had to,
Well, as soon as I turned 40, I went and got the fucking
and guys out there, whatever, guys or girls with the colorectal correction, if you're getting hemorrhoids, that's a sign. Because that sucks, a hemorrhoid, I haven't had a hemorrhoid decades since I got the operation.
What's the secret? Fibrous
Well, because
food?
it was aggravating, the tumors were aggravating the flow of things or something.
Right. Well, when I went, I was nervous. I was scared. You know who called me before he went? Toby. He was shook. But you got to go. Like everybody says, don't be scared, but it's
it's a pain. You got to get EKG, you got to get X-rays, you got to get blood work, piss, stool, this, that, the other thing. It's like, before you get cut.
Yep, it's messy, it's nasty. And then you got the guy like, I'm like, so what's going to happen? He's like, well, we're going to put this in and you're going to go out. And then I woke up and I was farting like crazy. And
I love it. Yeah. How am I doing? Yeah, you got cancer. Okay, fine. Tell me. I says, yeah.
But you took it like a champ, and you were like, "I'm going to beat this. They're getting it out."
And the guy says, "Well, if you don't go in that like right away, you might have to wear a colostomy." What? Who? Get me in there. So I go in. It was a little Arab doctor, right? That my friend, my primary doctor sent me to.
Yeah.
So. I go in, and we go in once. He says, oh, we got to go back in. So I go back in again. So in between here, going back and seeing him, he says, I hear you're some kind of a rock star. I said, I play the band, He says, could you get me I said, okay. I bring him a CD. So I go back, I get an operation, I go back. So making small talk with the guy, I says, by the way, did you ever listen to my record? He says, yeah, we listened to it. I said, what do you mean? He says, well, we were operating on you. You listen to that garbage? You got to listen to Mozart. You can't listen to that garbage when you fucking operate on me.
I wonder what album was it? Gotta Go? Was it?
No, it was the one with the
Come on,
soldiers.
Another Voice.
Another Voice.
Wow.
I totally remember because I remember the cover.
Yeah,
that was a great cover too.
Think about how.
What year was that? Was it
2004? Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went right after that. I went on tour with the Misfits, the Damned, a bunch of other bands like that, and. The Dickies, and anyway, and I had like a little catheter hanging out You know what I mean? Like the drain, like, you know.
You're a road dog. Anybody else would have canceled.
Not me. Fuck you. I'm alive. I'm going.
No, and I think that's good because even when you get like a knee surgery or something, they want you to get up and walk, right? Like when you get a hip surgery, they want you to get up and be active. Like it's active recovery.
Touring keeps me in shape.
Yeah.
It really does, you know? It's my go-to. Now, if I only had like do some push-ups and just strength training, I'm great. But, you know.
Well, you guys were always in shape. Like I feel like every picture I used to see in the magazines and the fanzines.
Forgot about it. You know what I tell them? Come on. You want to take off your shirt? Come on, I'll take off my shirt right now. Still got abs.
Well, it was known throughout the scene, like, Vinnie Stigma does karate. Roger was in jail. You know, I had the One Voice poster with the crazy tattoo. I mean, that's probably the first time I ever saw somebody like you guys are like fully covered. No fucks given. Because this was at a time when it was like you really wouldn't get hired at a job,
right?
Like, what did they? I remember someone calling the neck tattoo the ultimate. You remember those candies, the ultimate gobstopper?
No, I don't know.
It was like a. Can you look that up, Dom? Am I fucking
gobstopper?
I think it was called the ultimate gobstopper. They would call the neck tattoo the ultimate job stopper.
Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? I got a tattoo halfway on my face. You know,
but it worked because it gave you.
Well, we were the first American band, fully shaved, boots, you know, going across the country, and people didn't know what to think of us. They thought we were religious fanatics. They thought we were Nazis. They thought we were rebels. They didn't know what to think we were, you know?
But it was hard.
Yeah. But you know what? I walk up to everybody. I make a friend right away.
Always.
And they love me right away because I'm honest. You know, I'm just here. I pull into a club. You know, I make friends with the door guy. One time we walked into this club. It was 1984. We were in Baton Rouge. We played this club called the Soiled Dove, and it was a lesbian bar club, you know, whatever. And we rolling in, we're loading the equipment, and there's a couple of girls, whatever, you know, giving us the stink eye, you know. And the lady came up from upstairs, just like in the movie, says, "Girls, you leave them boys alone." And that was it. I had to collect money from the lady at the end of the night, you know, for playing the show. You know, it was a small little office, like, and I went in there. And
you guys there was controversy, even in the fanzine days. And I used to think, and I remember someone saying at the record store, someone was saying something about you guys. And I remember the kid at the record store said, like, the guy's from Cuba.
Yeah.
How the hell is he going to be whatever you're calling him or whatever?
Right, I know.
And now that's still happening with other bands and with people in
they need a scapegoat. They need a bad guy.
Right.
You know, you just you can prove them wrong with your lyrics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like somebody chimed in after we played Berlin about what's about the beer song? What's the matter, right? You know, right? So they blamed AF. First of all, you got the wrong band, number one. Number two, you're not listening to the content. You know what I mean? Like, where you going? Stop already.
But the thing
I'm canceling you, motherfucker.
Right.
And you're getting canceled now.
The thing that pisses me off is that some people, they don't want any, even if you were accused of something, they don't want any road to redemption. Like, they don't want people to be given a second chance. And I never understood that because even if, especially with Hatebreed, I mean, we've been accused of, we were on CNN being called racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Not CNN, you know, they're collapsing.
Oh, yeah.
It's collapsing. That whole
we probably get more views at Gas Digital than
yeah.
No, I know it is because because they're do a shoddy job. Yeah.
It's propaganda now. It's not even just like the late night shows. You know, it's all anti. It's not even funny. I wouldn't mind if it was funny. Sure, I'd like to laugh, but it's not funny.
No.
It's like hate. It's just hate. Like, really? Stop.
I know, you know, Body Count's doing Jimmy Fallon tonight, and I was going to hit them up and try to go over there and see. And then I remember the last time I was there, I was punishing Jimmy Fallon so hard to try to get on the show.
Yeah.
And he looked at the DVD, and I gave him some merch and stuff. And, you know, when they see the name,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck no, we're not booking that. And that's how kind of it was with Agnostic Front. You didn't know, what does the name mean? It was scary.
It was a heavy, it's a heavy name, right?
Right. And we get that with Hatebreed still to this day. Like when my daughter was little and she'd have to tell people, yo, your band's in a your dad's in a band?
Yeah.
What band is he in? Hatebreed. But dude, it's so good to see you, and I'm psyched about the book, and shout out to Howie for doing this. I would love to hear the tapes and see you guys like sending the ideas back and forth and see the creative process.
Yeah, that's Howie. I need Howie for that.
Did you have to just dictate everything to him? Like, how did it work?
Well, he asked me questions. He recorded me, and then they put it through the printer.
Okay.
Like something like that.
Did you tell the horse in the elevator story?
No, I don't think I did. I got so many stories. People say, you forgot that one and you forgot that one. I'm like, okay, next time.
Part two. Tell us quickly. I know you told it the last. I mean, it was years ago when you did the last time you did the podcast. Tell the horse in the elevator story quickly.
Well, we're in Puerto Rico. Go see my friend Black Joey. So yell up, yo, Joey! Yeah, come on up. So I fourth floor. I press the elevator. A small little elevator. First of all, they're lucky they got elevators there. Bad projects. That's where Macho Camacho got shot.
Right.
It's a bad project. We're walking through there like it's nothing. Well, I know everybody, you know. So we go. I open the elevator door. A fucking horse walks out. I told Joey, guy with a horse. He said, yeah, he keeps it on the balcony. Like it's a pet, you know? How crazy is this?
And it's so funny, too, because in New York, you've seen so much crazy shit.
Yeah.
But then you go to Puerto Rico and you see that.
Yeah, that's another crazy, you know?
What is the craziest thing you've seen in New York? Because today with this guy getting blasted with the silencer, did you see that?
Yeah,
video?
I heard something about that, yeah.
There's the CEO of United Healthcare right in the middle of the street.
Yeah, right.
Guy comes up with a mask on with a silencer, boom.
Yeah,
shot him in the back.
Wow.
But what is the craziest thing you think you've seen?
Well,
in New York?
I think I was part of it. The craziest thing I seen in New York was when I picked up a dead deer from Pennsylvania, going from Pittsburgh to New York. We were playing CBGBs. The night before we played Pittsburgh. On the way to New York, I saw a dead deer. I said, stop the van, pull over. Get the fucking deer. It took like 3-4 of us. We threw the fucking deer in the van, sat on the deer on the way to New York City.
With blood and guts and shit?
Yeah, whatever, you know. It was intact. It was pretty good. He must have had a heart attack or something. So we get the fucking CBGBs. We throw the fucking deer on the sidewalk in front of CBGBs. The concept of a New York City concrete and a natural deer, like it just didn't coagulate in my head, you know? Kabula then gets a fucking machete and chops the fucking head off and still got the head today.
Come on, he had it taxidermied?
I think he boiled it down to the skull. Yeah, he still got it.
And he has it mounted on his wall?
I guess so. He thinks he's a hunter.
Right.
So I go fishing with him in the high Sierras somewhere, right? And all of a sudden, somebody had a black chow chow, right? You know, like one of these big chow chow. He turned around. He thought it was a baby. He threw his fucking fishing rod down and he ran away. I said, it's a fucking dog. It's a fucking chow chow. Got a blue tongue.
I love the story you told me about Roger's dog getting launched. What happened with the dog? It was like, he got launched out of the van. He was a nice dog, but he lived.
Yeah, no.
But then he was mean?
Tough. Yeah, after that he was mean. Yeah, after it wasn't a nice dog no more.
So what happened with that?
We were making a turn on Staten Island, ready to go on tour. The axle breaks.
Oh, my God.
Like the front axle just breaks. And all of a sudden, it's like in slow motion. It says, oh, here it comes. We're going to hit it any minute. We're going to hit a car. Here it comes. It's like in slow motion. All of a sudden, boom, we hit. The dog flew out the fucking window. After that, you couldn't touch the dog. The dog will bite your fucking legs off.
Yeah, because Roger, I think he said like he went in some water or it was cold out or some snow or something, and then the dog's whole personality changed.
Yeah, it was a devil dog after that.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
How
We
many-
always used to take a dog on tour with us.
Yes, I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved hearing the stories like about.
There was 6 of us sleeping in a big mattress because we used to put the equipment on the bottom. Roger would fix the van because he's a carpenter. And we would sleep, all of us in the van, like right on top of each other. Yeah, and a dog, throw the dog in there.
Wow.
I mean, I used to actually hug Frenchie.
Yeah.
There was no room,
I know everybody thinks Agnostic Front is this scary band. They're going to kill you. And then you see Roger, he sees a dog and he lights up, especially we were on tour somewhere and someone had one of those hot dog dogs. And
I love those dogs.
Yeah, he loves those dogs. He's like, oh, it's like my Louie or whatever he had.
Yeah, Louie.
He had one. Now I've been thinking about getting one of those just because of that.
Oh, they're great dogs. Those are the ones you want. I want a little dog. I live in New York City. I don't want a dog. I don't want a mouse. I don't want a cockroach. I don't want nothing. I got nothing in my house. Not even a cockroach
Not
anymore.
a bird.
Not a bird. The pigeons are gone. Speaking of the birds, that's over. I travel too much. I'm too irresponsible.
Hey everybody, it's Jamey jumping in to let you know today's episode is brought to you by blastbeatsvinyl.com. You want to add some killer vinyl to your collection? Might as well support an independent, family-owned extreme metal distro out of New Jersey. We love blastbeatsvinyl.com, and you should too. Plus, you can dodge all those brutal $40 shipping fees when you want to grab a European import or something rare, from the big name to the deep underground, including limited color vinyl runs and exclusives. Each vinyl's packed with extreme care, so you don't got to worry about your UPS or FedEx guy punting it like Pele out the back of the fucking truck. Head on over to blastbeatsvinyl.com and hit that coupon code area. Just type in Jasta10 and you're going to get 10% off your first order over at blastbeatsvinyl.com. While I have you, make sure you support one of our new sponsors. Actually, they've sponsored the show before. You know them, you love them. Upstate Records. Big shout out to Upstate Records. They just had an awesome, successful event called the Extreme Music Awards. And this band, Concrete, won 4 awards up there. And you can go order their new release, their latest release, Mortualis, when you visit upstaterecordsny.com and use a promo code JASTA10. Check out their other releases too while you're over there. But we want to support Upstate Records because they support the Jasta Show. Make sure you subscribe over at their YouTube, Upstate Records New York, and check out their Bandcamp page, upstaterecords.bandcamp.com. Support indie, brutal, underground music. Big thanks to Upstate Records. Now back to the show.
Who was the coolest famous person that you met at CBGB's throughout the years? And do you remember when it was really popping off and there was always like sightings? Did you ever care, or did anyone come up to you and go, "I'm a fan," and it surprised you?
Yeah, I guess, I never really, I just went there, just like, because it's just around the corner from my house. I tell you the truth, if it wasn't around the corner from my house, I would be sitting here right now.
When I saw that fucking front of it in the Newark airport, I was like, oh, this is, have you been?
No,
you seen
he got the CBGB thing. Yeah, I didn't see it.
So
I fly out of JFK.
Right, you never go out of Newark.
Yeah.
It's kind of sacrilege, but then at the same time, it keeps the name out there. So maybe someone will look it up and go see some of the flyers or learn the history.
Yeah, it has to be out there for good, bad, or indifferent. The name has to be there.
It's got to stay alive, right?
And I just hate that some people would use the name for street cred. Like they played there once just because they say they played there. Like, I mean, we worked there.
Yeah.
Roger worked there. You know what I mean? Me, I never worked there. I just hung around. I hung around there in the 70s when it first opened up. When it was still Hillies. And
no way.
Yeah. And all the neighborhood kids, my older cousins would hang out there. The Hells Angels would be in there, That's why I hung around with Big Vinnie, you know, and he liked me because I'm Vinnie.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I make a big thing. Hey, paisano, you know?
And who was the biggest band you ever saw play there, or that you ever saw go on to get big? Because I had heard that sometimes people would drop in, not just the Blondies and the Ramones. Obviously, they started there, but Rolling Stones and others I heard, or maybe not Rolling Stones, but maybe Keith Richards dropped in and played with somebody.
I don't know. I just went there on the regular. I was there like every day.
Yeah,
I passed there. I was more friends with like the Tommy Victors, the Hilly. Hilly loved me. I spoke at his thing once, and he liked me because hey Hilly, how you doing? Hey Vinny, how you doing? I says, coffee. That's how I got him. I come back with the little Italian cookies. Forget about it. He loved me. That was it. I hooked him in.
Nice, yeah, because he was a little prickly every time I met him. Yeah,
nah, he was all right with me. Well, I was going there since Hilly's. You know?
Yeah. Let's do a little Agnostic Front. Where are they now?
Where are they now?
Because you brought up Kabula.
Okay.
And you've had some of the craziest characters. Just since I've known the band and produced a record and toured with you guys, you've had some of the best characters. Some Mama Lukes, as you would say. Some true Mama Lukes have been in the band. But we're going to go down the former members, and if you could just quickly say a thing or two.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Rob Krakis, drums from 1980 to 81.
Rob Krakis, who's that?
I saw it. I was like, I wasn't sure.
This is from the official site?
This is from Wikipedia, so it could be bullshit. I think Wikipedia is going the way of CNN.
Yeah, I think so, because they say I was born in Italy. I'm Italian. I was born here.
John Watson,
I seen him the other day. He's a janitor of a building uptown somewhere.
No way.
Yeah.
Talk about hardcore.
Yeah.
Especially in the city now. Yeah. The shit he must see.
Yeah, he looks good. He's doing good.
Shout out to John. James Contra.
James Contra got caught robbing old ladies' bank accounts. He's living in Florida. His name is Waldo something. You can look it up on some kind of app or whatever, and he got convicted or whatever in Florida. He was robbing people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Diego, bass, 1980 to 82.
Hardest dancer, like when he got on the dance floor, even Watson, everybody got out of the way. Nobody could enjoy themselves. Jesus Christ. He wound up being a biker in some bike crew or whatever. And I think he's in Florida. He's still the redheaded spick, you know?
Ray Bees. Rest in peace.
Yeah, Buram. Well, he went on to be Warzone, Skinhead Youth, or whatever like that. And
I remember somebody stole his camera at the I think it was in New Britain. The place changed names a couple times, but I think at one point it was called the Boiler Room. It might have been before it was, and I was there, and there was maybe like 11 people there. This was before the re-records and Victory, which, by the way, those records still hold up. Not a lot of bands can re-record material. That lineup that he had, those guys were great, and those records sound so good.
Yeah.
And gave the band new life. I love when I see little kids. Like we played this little festival in Kentucky, LDB. Shout out to LDB. They were great kids, great people. I seen little kids, like 13-year-old kids wearing Warzone shirts. Yeah. It's unbelievable the power of music, and the legend of Rabies lives on.
You know, I got him in fucking, I got him the drums and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, nobody wanted to talk to him when he first come on the scene. But not Vinny. Vinny goes up, hey, how are you? How you doing?
Why was it? Like, what potential did you see? Like, how did you meet?
No, he was just like a little bit over the top. Like 3 mohawks.
Yeah.
Like extra clothes on. Like over the top. Didn't know how to dress like a punk rocker. He was like, yeah, look at me. I'm a punk rocker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, don't work that way. You know? But, you find your family. Yeah. Somehow.
Who gave him the construction worker glove idea?
It was. I think the band he abused.
Okay.
Jimmy from Murphy's Law. There were a bunch of guys wearing the construction thing, the gloves.
That's great though. Like I loved that about New York hardcore and punk rock. Everybody had their little gimmick.
Yeah, right.
Their little thing that set them apart.
Yeah. I had the X on the head. You know, I always wore the mohawk anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Adam Mucci.
Adam Mucci was the head of Harley Davidson in Paris.
No way.
Yeah, he's an ace mechanic, the kid. He runs his father's plumbing business now. He's got 2 boys, whatever. He's around. You catch him around.
Dave Jones,
crazy, in Jersey somewhere. Somehow he wants credit for nothing. I don't know. He just annoyed Roger that we cut him off.
Okay, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry too. You know, no harm, no will. You know.
Rob Kabula.
Oh, Kabula.
Kabula's great.
Kabula's got. He drives a bulldozer because he's got so much money. He has to push his money from one spot to another.
When you guys reunited with those guys and it was all together, I was like, that could have been a documentary on its own. Seeing you all interacting and everything, I'm like, this is so, I wish podcasting was around then. You would have had the biggest podcast ever, breaking Jimmy Coletti's balls. Kabula, you, Roger. I mean, that was a great lineup. Todd Youth, rest in peace, Todd.
Todd Youth. He was 11 years old. Used to run away from his house. 11 years old to come live in my house because it was like the headquarters. All the punk rockers would live in my house because my aunts would come, Vincent, open the door, with a bowl of pasta. And it was always in one of those hand-painted, and I never forget my aunt telling me, don't wash the dish. She was afraid I might chip it. You know, it's one of those copatamandis, you know, and she'd boil a pile of fucking macaroni, meatballs, and everybody would eat in my house. And Todd Youth would run away from his parents' house and come stay in my house. And I called his mother, he's here. By the way, do you feed this kid? Hey, stop smoking out there. You know, I always took him, you know, I always looked out for the kid, you know, he needed it, you know, and, I taught him how to play guitar. He wanted to play for fucking Motorhead.
Danzig. Ace Frehley.
He became better than me. I taught you how to play the guitar. He was like 11. And then all of a sudden I turned around and how the hell did that happen?
Amazing. Well, he definitely paid that kindness forward that you gave him, because when we did that Danzig tour, we were on top of the mattress, on top of the amps in the van. We bought the van for like $1,200 with 180,000 miles on it or whatever, just to do the tour.
Right.
And he would get hotel rooms in his contract or in his rider, and he would be like, "Hey, you guys need a room? We're driving to the next city. You can go use my room." He would bring us stuff from the dressing room, and that he gave us so much hope.
Yeah,
because when you saw someone from the scene go on to do something big and mainstream,
you wonder with Glenn Campbell.
Yes, I know, and he did a metal record, right? Glenn did a metal record, I think.
I don't know,
or a rock record. He might have.
Oh, Glenn Campbell. I'm thinking Glenn Danzig, right?
Right. But so Danzig on that tour, it was amazing to see Todd up there. He could fit with any band.
Yeah.
Like he could just, and what a stage presence and
But I always looked at him like the kid. I didn't look at him like that. You know what I mean? I don't how great or whatever, how good of a guitar. I just see him, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, I was so proud, you know, that like I had something fundamentally instituted into him, you know, that like be a musician, be a good guy, and try to help others and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, we always appreciated that. That went a long way with us because that was huge, you know, especially driving all night.
Sure, I know. I just did that Sepultura tour, you know, and we had a lot of long drives. And
you get to a hotel and and he was so like, we would go to the hotel. It was like he didn't even sleep in the bed or nothing. It was so clean and nice.
Yeah.
Alex Kinnan.
Alex, cigar guy, my friend. We're like in cigar clubs together today. He's a strong man. What do they call those things?
Weightlifter?
Nah, you run,
Iron Man.
He's an Iron Man.
Nice.
Yeah, he does that.
What do you remember why any of these guys quit, or you had to throw them out or whatever?
No, I don't remember.
Or was it just like, hey, I can't do this anymore?
Yeah, you know.
Life is moving on. Life's going in a different direction.
Yeah. Not mine.
Carl DeMola.
Carl, he passed away.
Rest in peace, Carl. I didn't know
He was
that.
in the Iceman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, no.
Hard.
Carl was a good kid, another good young kid. You know, one night he stood over my house, and I was so glad he stood over my house because that was the night my dog died. I had a little puppy, and I heard him crying at the end of the, and I was like, wow. Thank God Carl was there, that I wasn't alone. You know? So I'll never forget that.
Rest in peace.
Good kid, Carl. Like him a lot.
Gordon Ancis?
Yeah, Gordon Ancis. His father used to write the jokes for hey, no respect.
Rodney.
For Rodney Dangerfield.
Love Rodney.
Oh, he's the best. Till today, I die.
His book is amazing. You gotta read his book.
So his father used to write the jokes for him.
Wow, remember that movie Back to School?
All of them.
Oh my God, they kill me.
Yeah.
You know what's so sad?
You know, he introduced the Agnostic Front once at the Rock Hotel once.
Right.
Yeah.
He brought you out.
Yeah, because at the Rock Hotel, there was a curtain. I love a curtain because I could go up there, fix my amp. I didn't have a tech. You know, I was my own tech. And I didn't know half the things I was doing anyway, so it took me a minute. I would set up my amp. The curtain was closed. I'll hurry up, And anyway, I turn around while I'm tuning my guitar. From here to a little past you, I see Rodney, and he's like really fixing his tie, like wiggling around. I just started laughing, just looking at the guy.
Yeah.
And the curtain opens up. He said, hey, everybody, that's the front. And he ran off stage, and that was the last time I saw him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
His book is incredible. It's tragic, of course, what he went through to become the comedian, right? His mom was gay. She would have girlfriends. She would lock him in the house and would go out partying with the girlfriends, drinking, doing drugs. And she would do mean shit. Like she'd be like, I'll let you go. I'll give you a nickel to go see the movies if you stay in the house. And then she would never give him the nickel. Yeah. And then his dad, there's one chapter in the book, it just killed me, where he finally got to meet his dad. I think at the end, I could be mistaking this, but it was at the end of his life where he got to meet his dad, and his dad was on his deathbed, and he goes, so Dad, what does it all mean? And he looks at Ron and he goes, it's all bullshit. I was like, fuck, it killed me. You got to read that book if you can find it. It's a great book. I'll get you the title of it. Wow, there's more ex-members than I thought, but this is great.
Yeah.
Joe Fish Montanaro.
Joe Fish Montanaro wanted to be the drummer for GBH.
Okay.
Right? And his father was like connected. He's from, where's that?
Westchester?
Where the Italians live in Brooklyn.
By
the airport.
Yes. Why can't I think of it? Yeah. Not
like a Bensonhurst type.
Not Bay Ridge. Not Bay
Ridge. Something like that. Anyway, whatever. They found his father, in a dumpster. And,
whoa.
Yeah, it was like that. But Joe was a Gugine. Another one, it makes a mohawk, like a fat mohawk. It was half a mullet. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm a punk rocker. But he was a tough motherfucker, this kid. I loved him. And he was a good drummer. He just had it. Some people could play drums.
Yeah.
And he wound up playing for GBH. Anyway, he got on drugs or whatever. Oh. And the night he died, he was in my tattoo shop.
No.
Yeah. And we told him, Joe, we don't want to tattoo you like this, So I told this guy, hey, get this guy help or do something. The guy takes him home, puts him to bed. He never woke up.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Wow. So the Fish, did you guys name him that? Joe the Fish? Or
yeah.
How did he get the name?
I forget. I forgot how he got the name.
I once did a podcast.
Like a fish,
Well, you said, his dad might have been connected, so they always had the best nicknames for those guys, right?
Yeah.
But one time I was doing a podcast here with a wrestler, this guy, Tommy Dreamer. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know Tommy the Dreamer.
Yeah. And he goes, I was showing him the album. This is years and years ago. It was probably 2000. I mean, it was got to be 8-10 years ago, but I was showing him the album and he goes, yeah, you got, I said, we used to play CBs. We play with a lot of New York hardcore bands. You know any of those guys? You know those bands? He he's looking at me and he's like, so you play, he's like, listen, I'm a Guido. I like Guido music.
Yeah.
And it made me think about all you guys that were like, you had a choice. You could have done the Guido thing.
Sure.
But you chose punk rock and hardcore. But he took a different path, did the Guido music, and then, or not did, was into Guido music, then got into wrestling, and he goes, do you know James Dijon? You look like you would.
The
Malta the Damager.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, he used to, when he moshed for us.
I'm always with Mike.
Always, shout out to the Dijon brothers, legends. And I said, yes, of course, Mike's brother, he would mosh to us. And talk about a guy who would mosh hard.
Yeah. I wrestle now.
I saw. That's where this was my segue.
All right.
I was like, you're 60-something getting thrown off the top rope in the video or something. That was the greatest. You taking bumps. How did you get into that? Through Tommy?
Well, I know some wrestling people because I was always interested in wrestling. And they says, just like anything, hey, Vinny, you want to wrestle? I'm like, yeah, fuck you, I'll do it. And I could launch off the top ropes because I had a lot of training at CBGB stage diving. So it was easy for me. And I tell the guy, listen, you throw me, one fat guy throws me to the other fat guy. The fat guy catches me, throws me back to the other fat guy. You know what I mean? I keep going like a volleyball. It's awesome.
Dude, it looked amazing.
The nicest people, the wrestling people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in my book.
No, they are. Really. I still keep in touch with CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Tommy the Dreamer was great.
They're all great guys.
MVP, amazing. Huge fan. We met him together.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
Someone told me that night, the girl that banged Trump was there, the porn star. I was like,
Stormy Daniels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stormy.
Yeah.
She was there.
My booking agent, Stormy.
Shout out to the booking agent, Stormy.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting to that. Louis Beto.
Louis Beto, he just wished me happy birthday yesterday. So he's
drums just in 1986, just for a year? Less than a year?
He just played on my Cause for Alarm album, which Pete Steele helped me write a lot of the lyrics. And I traded him some music for lyrics. You know, that's my riff. That's my riff. He loved that riff.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a real caveman riff.
Yeah, he liked progressive type music, kind of like, you know, and it was great. Pete's a good guy.
Great guy.
I have a lot of fond memories with Pete. Remember the night me and you? He wouldn't get out of the cab. I was going to have Mini Kiss mug him when he walked in the fucking joint. He wouldn't get out of the cab. The car's behind. Beep, beep,
we were trying to get him out, and we're trying to put him on the bus.
Yeah. We finally take us back to where we were.
Yes.
The guy took us back to the bus. We finally put him in the bus. Everybody went, and I spent the night on the bus, your bus, with Sean.
Yeah, because we missed the party because we couldn't get Pete Steele.
Yeah.
And then we heard Kenny was wanted to kill Mini Kiss because they were only doing 3 songs or something.
I don't know, but I wanted Mini Kiss to mug Pete Steele. That was the whole thing. The minute he walks in, they were going to dive off the bars, these little 3 midgets. There were 3 or 4 midgets, right? And Pete Steele was so fucking tall.
Dude, towards the end of that tour, I was telling him about your record that we did together. And I said, let's do a Carnivore record. I'll be write it. Carnivore was so hard when SMD, when that comes on, I'll break this whole, I'll smash this whole room right now. Start sucking. Oh, it's so hard. But man, I always I regret not following through. You know, sometimes it's so much. There's so many ideas going on, and I'm pulled in 90 different directions. And I got my kid, I got my father, I got my mother-in-law living with me. There's not enough hours in the day, but he was in Pennsylvania, and I hit him up let's do it. And we even talked about doing some Carnivore shows with Hatebreed, and then they ended up playing, I think, at the Chance a couple times, or they did some reunion shows, and then he was gone. And then I'm at the funeral, and I'm looking at him in the casket and listening to everybody tell the stories. And I was
it's a shame because he had a hard life towards the end.
Yeah.
He should have enjoyed life. I mean, he got thrown in a mental institution. He got thrown in jail. His family abandoned him and stuff like that. Pete's a real sweetheart of a guy. I miss him a lot, and I'm sorry that had to happen to him at the end of his life. anywhere in his life, you know, but
we had too much fun on that Hatebreed Typo Negative
that
tour.
Big jug of wine. Remember that big round bottle of wine?
God.
Like he would carry that around.
We had more fun on that tour. Like that, we had, you know, I always say you never get away with anything in this life.
Yeah.
You don't get away with anything. I really believe that. You don't get away with anything. And I thought, we're not getting away with any of this shit that we did on that tour because it was so much fun. We had a blast. Like, I love those guys, Kenny, Johnny, Pete, rest in peace. Even Josh, who was a little prickly here and there. But man, I still, that's one regret. You know how people go, oh, I got no regrets. I lived in my way. That's one regret. Not following up with him and trying to do the Carnivore record or just do something.
Yeah. It's
together.
Too late now. It's too late now because even they wanted to try to do the Carnivore AD.
That I saw. Someone sent me a clip of that, and the guy looked like him and everything, and it sounded pretty good. But I don't know.
Yeah, you know, you're not being Steele,
right?
It's just, you know,
right. No disrespect, but
right. Yeah.
I know.
Like Glenn Danzig's Glenn Danzig. The Misfits could play, but when Glenn Danzig's with the Misfits,
it's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, right. So I played with them at the Moody Center in Texas.
I saw.
So we're down there, had a great show, everything great. Okay. So after the show, we're all hanging out in the hallway. And you know, so some security guy comes out who I know. He says, yo, Vinny, Glenn wants to talk to you. I said, all right, go say hello. Everybody, there's like a line of people, like waiting to talk to him. I'd like walk right past them, like, all right, okay. So he goes, yo, Vinny, thanks a lot for playing, this, that, the other thing. We got to go on tour. You great guys. He rented all my equipment out for me.
The whole back line.
He rented my back line. And I was like, Glenn, thank you. You appreciate that. So, okay. I didn't want to take much of his time. So he comes over, he gives me a hug. I told Roger, I just got hugged by Glenn Danzig.
He's
awesome.
great. He's another one that we had heard horror stories, but then the first day he's giving us extra cases of beer, extra water.
He came before the show. He came in to check in. I heard, you guys need anything?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That was another tour where we were like, oh my God, we're not getting away with this. But just in case anybody from Peter's family does listen to this or sees this, I didn't hear anything about the family, so I don't know what the relationship was. It seemed like it was okay when I was at the funeral, but I'm not in contact with any of them.
I don't mean to, you know.
I just want to specify that. You might know, but you might know something that I don't know. But I think right now what they're doing with the estate, hopefully they keep the music alive and they keep doing cool things for the fans. And maybe there will be a tribute show at some point. Like that could be cool, where you get Johnny and Kenny and everybody together and maybe get different singers like Howard from Killswitch.
Yeah, guy from here, guy from there, right. Yeah.
Ville from him.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
But it is strange when someone who is that larger than life and that legendary is gone. It's like a hole in the fucking earth.
And like a year or two before that on April 1st, April Fool's Day, he sent out the message, I died. Yes. He died. Remember that?
Yes.
That was like 2 years before that.
I think you're right. I know.
I was like, what? What happened? And then when I found that, I was like, that's so Pete Steele too.
Yeah.
You know, to like set, you know.
I know. Sometimes I think I wish that it was like he faked it and he's really like in fucking Bermuda or something. Yeah.
He was very morte-de-femme about death and like, you know, like die the other side.
Yeah.
There was a dark side to him, you know, like.
Yeah. I had always read the interviews and seen the different things. Like when we first went to Europe, I found a magazine and I was like having one of our roadies translate it in German, and he was telling me that in this article that he did a fast, like a hunger strike, and he was just eating vitamins and no food, and he was a fascinating guy.
He was.
I'm sure someone will do. There might already be like an unauthorized biography or something.
There's a couple about me too.
No, I know you got another book on here called it's like the unauthorized Vinnie Stigma. It's only got 1 star. Your real legit book has 5 stars.
Yeah.
Alan Peters.
Alan Peters, he passed away too.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
He was a Pittsburgh guy we play Pittsburgh a lot with the Half-Life, a band that we always used to play, Circus of Death. And when we used to play with this band Half-Life, they had a song, United and Strong, and we had a song, United, So we always used to dedicate it to each other, and that bonded us. And that's where Willie and Alan came.
Okay.
I got the bass and drum from them.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, because Steve Martin was next.
Right.
Rhythm guitar, 1987 to 1990.
Yeah.
He's had different jobs in the music industry,
Yeah,
right?
he's an indie guy now. He's Paul McCartney's publicist.
Okay.
Yeah, and he does Foo Fighters. He's got the two of them.
Wow.
Like, you need any more?
Right.
Really?
Two best clients.
Yeah, really.
Will Shepler, shout out to Will.
Yeah,
legend.
I talked to him just the other day. My birthday, he called me.
And then probably your favorite member of all time, Craig Satari.
Oh, Craig. He's Marky Ramone is in his band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scully Ramone, we call him.
What do you think about the strap? What do you think about the harness?
Strap. I love the strap. You can't. It's like a parachute. Like
he invented it, right? I never saw anyone wear anything like that.
He's crazy. He's the best.
He's got to patent that.
Yeah, but he's a good player.
No, he's amazing.
He really is. He's good.
One of the best to ever do it. And one of the best tones. What a mean tone.
He's just good.
When he goes into fucking clobbering time, that's like Carnivore SMD. I'll fucking break this whole shit. And by the way, Craig, sorry to break it to you, New Haven Pizza. My Uncle Mike made the sauce at Sally's for 45 years.
Yeah, forget about it. I got
to take you to Sally's.
I go to the other guy.
You go to Pepe's.
Sally's is never open.
I know. I got to take you to Sally's when you come.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to do a whole pizza podcast, you and me, and we're going to get Craig together.
Yeah. All right, good.
All right. So,
I think they threw him out of the pizza club.
Did they?
Yeah, he gets thrown out of every club. The ball club.
Because he's an extremist.
Yeah.
He goes too hard?
Yeah, get away from me. Like, don't talk to me anymore.
Matt Henderson, the wild card.
Matty called me the other day also.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's put H2O now.
What a resume. H2O, Madball, Agnostic Front.
Yeah, but Matty, H2O, yeah, it's like cakewalk.
And the coolest nickname. Oh, right, with H2O. Yeah. I know. You don't got people fucking.
Yeah, you don't got to,
The wild card is the best. One of the best nicknames.
Yeah, Bobby Hamble still calls, hey, wild card.
Shout out to Bobby Hamble.
Yeah, he called me the other day, too.
The greatest.
Yeah, I love that guy. We talk about pigeons all the time. He's one of my favorite guys.
He's such an old soul, but just someone you can rely on.
Yeah, he's an old soul.
Would do anything you need whenever you need it.
I love him very much.
When he would come out on a couple Jasta gigs and we would do the Biohazard songs and the place goes fucking crazy. And I remember before he rejoined the band, we saw him at House of Blues Orlando. He came out, he was hanging out all night. And I was like, you belong on stage.
Yeah.
You changed the game.
Yeah.
The look, the spins, the tone, that fucking crunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then so when he rejoined, it was like, oh, it was so good. Because every iteration of that band I thought was good. Scott Roberts' era was great. Like he sounded great. And now they're, it's all OG.
Yeah.
But all right, so there's four more. Jimmy Coletti. How's he doing? Where is he? Do we know?
He's in Long Island. A friend of mine's taking care of him.
Is he okay?
He's all right.
All right. He was a fun one to be on the road with. I know he was a little bit of a loose.
He's a loose
cannon.
Yeah.
He was like, where is he now? Where did he go?
Yeah.
But it made for a great time and a great story.
Yeah.
Was that the tour where I think it was with him where you coined the world famous saying that everyone says now when they enter a dressing room on a hardcore tour? Oh, look who it is. We were just talking shit about you.
Yeah. That's true.
I think it was with him that you coined that and that stayed.
Yeah.
Like that's a staple on every tour. That's a stigma-ism. Steve Gallo. Shout out to Steve Gallo. What a player.
Yeah, he could play guitar. He could sing.
So talented.
Yeah.
He's got a great voice. You're right. He can sing his ass off too. You're right.
No, he can play drums. He's a great drummer.
Great drummer.
That fuck, I want to choke him sometimes.
You know who's not on here?
Ooh.
There's a couple people that aren't on here. Lenny's not on here. All right. What about Joseph James?
He texted me the other day. He just played for Murphy's Law.
Okay.
A tour.
Oh, so he did the tour with you?
He did the tour for Jimmy.
Great. Pokey.
Yeah, he's I'm going to try to get him, Mike DeJean, AJ Novella, because they all work in the studio there, and I'm going to make them the Stigma band.
Nice.
Yeah, the hell with these guys.
And then
I'm giving them an alternative. This is
an ultimatum?
An ultimatum.
So that could be like Leeway. That's basically Leeway back.
I tell you right now, I listened to that Leeway record the other day. Forget about it. What a great record.
Game changer.
Oh, forget it.
Oh my God. The one
you forget about Alice in Chains and all that stuff. That was before.
You're right. It predated that.
Yeah.
It was totally different. It like that had to have inspired Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit, new metal. Like, there's without Leeway, there's none of that, right?
Yeah.
When he did that Kick It Like That Ho, I was like, this is brand new.
Yeah.
But that hardest fucking song, one of the hardest riffs ever is that it's on Born to Expire. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Fucking AJ's the best, man.
Oh my God, the riff beast.
Yeah, he's the master of the gallop. Great guy.
What a band. Rest in peace, Eddie Leeway.
Yeah, Eddie.
I wasn't in touch with him. I knew he was sick, but I was in Milwaukee and I saw Danny and he's like, and I said, that's so nice that you're trying to help him out. I tell him I said hello, I hope he's okay. But yeah, it's as we get old.
Yeah,
it's just that's just part of life.
Yeah, his sister was happy.
Enforcer. I think it's Enforcer. That's one of the hardest songs, riffs ever. If I'm remembering correctly, it's that song. Vinny, it was great to see you. Congrats on the book. Congrats on the tour. I mean, the Sepultura tour, every night I would see footage. I'd get off stage from our tour. I would open Instagram and it's you with a circle pit around every night. I'm like, Vinny is killing it.
Yeah, somebody got to do it,
And they loved you. The metal tours love it.
Yeah, well, we're a hardcore band for metal kids.
Yeah.
I mean, because metal kids like hard, they like heavy. And Agnostic Front. We stand for something, you know what I mean? And we stuck out on that tour, like, cause, they're all kind of death metal-ish or what have you. And we had a little metal in us, but we're hardcore too.
And you were doing like Peace and
I love that song. I know you helped write that song, and it was it was awesome.
So you had a heavier set.
Yeah, I am booked up till next year till December 14th. So I will be on stage 70 years old.
Amazing. Congrats.
And I'm feeling great.
You look great, and you've done so much. You kick down doors for guys like me to walk through. We'll always be appreciative of that. And congrats again on the book and all the continued success. You guys are the most deserving guys of that, and I really mean that. And when we did the 25th anniversary tour, we're due to do something again.
We got to do something.
We're due.
Just
we're
for
overdue.
Old time's sake.
We have to.
Just like I hang out with Tree Gun.
Yes, we have to. And that one of the best parts of that tour was every night hearing the Stigma chant. Every night. Portland, Oregon, I'm in backstage and I hear the whole crowd. And it was like, they had a curtain or something to keep like the back line hidden. And I just peeked out the back door and the whole, there's 1,200 people in there chanting Stigma. And I look up there and you're holding the guitar. And I was like, this is like what dreams are made of.
Yeah.
From the Hanover house.
Yeah.
When you bought me the birthday cake with like 50 people there.
Right.
To touring all over the world together. I owe you a lot. So thank you, brother.
You got it, Jamey.
And everybody go get the book, Most Interesting Man in the World, and it's on Amazon, and you can order it. Did you do the audiobook?
Yeah, I did the audiobook too.
So you did the voice.
I did the voice.
How long did it take you?
4 days, 3 days, something like that.
All right.
Well, the guy was so nice to me, than the book guy, because I'm not a good reader, So he would like launch it. Why don't you try it like this, Vin? I saw Jamey the other day. He's really a nice guy. So I had the heads up and I see it. So I could read it better. So I saw Jamey the other day. He's a really nice guy. Like I'm not a good reader. So he smoothed it. Here, let me fix that,
Nice.
He smoothed it a lot of.
I got to listen to it on audiobook because I love the Audible. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because I can barely read myself.
Yeah.
I got an iPad with a Kindle. Randy, shout out to Randy. He just sent me his book. Randy from Lamb of God has a book coming out too. So I got to read that before he comes on the podcast. But we'll do it again. I'll catch up with you. We'll do it before the tour, and you're always welcome here. And thanks again for doing this on short notice. It's so good to see you.
I'm only a few blocks away, Jamey. Anytime.
And we'll get a lot of people out to your book signing in Boston. That's really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, anybody in Boston, come on. You're more than welcome. There's only 100 tickets.
Yeah.
You know, the ticket is you buy the book.
Right.
That's the ticket. Agnostic Front's going to play with half of Agnostic Front and half of SSD Control guys.
Great.
So that's like, Boston.
Old school.
Yeah.
That record was hard.
Yeah. And then they're going to have Lenny do you heard the Vinnie Stigma song by Lenny?
I got to hear that.
Oh, my God. You got to hear it. He's great. First of all, he's a good musician. He always plays white guitars.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like white guitars. I tell him that all the time. I love him. He's such a sweetheart of a guy.
Well, this has been awesome. Great catching up with you. Everybody go get the book, and we will be back very soon. Thanks again, Vinny. Thanks, Dom. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Dom. Thank you, guys.
Digital.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode with Vinnie Stigma as much as I enjoyed going to New York, seeing Vinny, getting to do the podcast and catch up. It was awesome. Give a like on the YouTube. Give a sub if you would. We're almost to 30,000 subscribers. So please, if you're a new sub, leave a comment and let us know that you just subscribed, and support all of our sponsors. They're great companies and they got a bunch of great stuff going on. Make sure you check out upstaterecords.bandcamp.com or head on over to upstaterecordsny.com. Check out Concrete's record, Mortualis, and make sure you save yourself 10% when you use the code JASTA10. Also, check out indiemerchstore.com. The great, one of the best sponsors, longest running sponsors of the Jasta Show. And they are presenting a stage at Milwaukee Metal Fest. So first, go check out indiemerchstore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10. Get yourself some new merch and then wear it to Milwaukee Metal Fest. Get your tickets at therave.com/metalfest. And I will see you there. I will also see you at the Cellar on Treadwell in Hamden, Connecticut, January 30th with my good buddy Bobby Blitz from Overkill. That's right, Thrash Thursdays over at the Cellar on Treadwell in Hamden, Connecticut. There's less than 20 tickets left. Head on over to martyrstore.net. The link is always in the show notes. And while I have you, make sure you also check out blastbeatsvinyl.com, a family-owned and operated indie vinyl mail order that will save you on all those brutal import fees. They got the deep cuts, they got the big releases, they got it all. They pack it well. We love blastbeatsvinyl.com. Use the promo code JASTA10. Last but certainly not least, check out Unbeaten Records. Tons of killer releases on Unbeaten Records currently. Bands like Edict from Rhode Island, Pure Bliss from Syracuse, or check out Cell from Oklahoma City. I think you'll dig it. They got some brutal stuff, and they're giving Jasta Show listeners 15% off their order when you use the code UNBEATEN15 over at unbeaten.merchnow.com. The link will be in the show notes. Thanks again, everybody. If you enjoyed the show and you want to donate, you want to get a shout-out, any amount gets you a shout-out. Or if you want to advertise on the show, hit us up, jastashow@gmail.com. But to donate, it's paypal.me/Jasta. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll be back with Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. Drink your coffee. Do your push-ups. Listen to fucking, what's the band we just added to Milwaukee? Snuffed on Sight. I love that name. Snuffed on Sight. Listen to Snuffed on Sight. And we'll see you at Milwaukee Metal Fest 2025.